Hola Familia Humanidad, hello Family Humanity, Salut la Famille de l'Humanité. I hope you're doing wonderful. It's your brother Wallace. Today it's day 2 at El Tintal, and this is the campsite where we spent the evening after visiting the complex. Today I want to tell you more about the second biggest site in the lowlands, Guatemala, El Tintal. Why they name it El Tintal is because around Abajos, which is a creek, they found a plant called El Tintal. And this is the name of the archaeologists. The name of the Maya, we don't know. But one thing I know is their story. So let me tell you what happened here at El Tintal. El Tintal. El Tintal is the second biggest site in all the lowlands. And El Tintal was established in the pre-classic period, but their peak, when all the gigantic pyramids were completed, where the lifestyle was prosperous, it was in the late pre-classic. It is said by archaeologists that the population, we don't know the exact number, but a minimum of 100,000 people. That is a lot of people. There's also other archaeologists going closer to the 200 and the 300,000, but I prefer to go on the minimum, and you can imagine, just 100,000, that's a lot of people. Two of the largest buildings here at El Tintal use a style called TRIADIC. TRIADIC style was a innovation in the pre-classic style. It is composed of a primary pyramid right over here on top of a gigantic platform. And right over here, there's the primary pyramid, which is higher than the two other that are in front and facing each other. Those two pyramids are a perfect mirror. So we have the primary one and two other in front. This is called triadic style. This is an innovation in the pre-classic, and here at El Tintal, we also find the largest ballcourt in all the lowlands. So this is really impressive. The condition of the ballcourt is not the best because the site here hasn't been excavated. Not a lot of work has been put in that site, but still it's beautiful. El Tintal is 20 kilometers from Carmelita, which is the entry of the jungle. Carmelita is the little town that I showed in the other video. And then we walked 20 kilometers, we arrived here at El Tintal, and then El Tintal is the last site before El Mirador. Here we can find some monumental architecture dating from the middle pre-classic, which is 800 to 250 BC. The style that I was talking about, the triadic style, is also found at El Mirador, Nagbe, and Huacna, which were other cities in that same jungle, all connected with sacbes. Sacbes were the road made with limestone, rubble, ceramic, mud, elevated up to 5 meters high and sometimes 40 meters wide. The city of El Tintal has pyramid up to 50 meters high, and a road connecting to El Mirador, a sacbe. It used to be a beautiful white sacbe because sac means white and be means roads, connecting to El Mirador. But archaeologists also found a more complex network of road inside the town, the city, the complex of El Tintal. The path we followed today to arrive here at El Tintal, or to go to El Mirador, or to walk inside the El Tintal, archaeologists believe or have strong evidence because they found the composition completely, and it's easy to see. You look at on both sides of the road and it's elevated. Those were the original sacbes. Only difference is that 2.5 millennia ago, those sacbes, instead of being covered by roots and by earth, it was a beautiful white stucco. I will talk back more about those sacbes because a lot of people, a lot of researchers, a lot of archaeologists believe they were more impressive than the pyramids. The peak, the apogee of TINTAL was from 250 to 200 BC, and archaeologists found evidence of occupation of the site as far as 800 BC. Think about it. At that time, Rome hasn't been found yet, and the Maya in this beautiful jungle, they had a major city connected with roads, doing trade, creating ceramics. So the Maya were really early and really intelligent. Rome wasn't founded and they were living super prosperous. Like everything was set up. When one sacbe got eroded and they needed to do something, they just built on top of it, sealing the other one, and most of the time enlarging it so they could collect more rainwater, because that's why archaeologists believe that those sacbes were actually more impressive than the pyramids, because the sacbes were gigantic. They were up to 5 meters high, 40 meters wide. They were collecting rainwater and they were going over the little lake or the little creek up to 5 meters high. So those construction were not a little piece of construction. They were lots of engineering involved, lots of design involved, and that's why the sacbes were so impressive. The sacbes in the high and dry area were usually narrower, smaller. The sacbes in the lowlands, where it's always wet during the rainy season, where there's lots of bajos, lots of creek, were a lot wider. Maya had to be really careful with rain collection and everything about water, because when you come here in the now moment, you understand that it's a really dry area. So they had basin with overflow valve, so the rain was collected on the pyramid, then going into channels, on the sacbes, going into channels, and also in holes called chultun. That rainwater was going into basins, and when it was overflowing, there was a valve or a overflow technique sending it to another basin, so they never waste no water. The main feature of this site is the moat surrounding the core central part of the site. This is where the elite lived, and it was named Mano de León. This is where the administrative and political decisions were took, and like I said, only the elite could live there. So they constructed that moat, artificial moat, and then it was filled with water. And if you were not a noble, if you were not someone with the name Kan, because here it was of the kingdom Kan, the kingdom of the snake, chances were you never went into that core center called Mano de León. Near the sacbe connecting El Tintal to El Mirador, at kilometer 107, we find two large pyramid, which are not excavated yet, but those are named El Paraiso Hamlet. Archaeologists believe that this site over there, those two mounds, were actually a agricultural community, and they also believe it was one of the most important food source for El Mirador, which without this site, El Mirador wouldn't survive. New LiDAR image has been captured for this site that is at kilometers 107, only 7 kilometers from El Mirador. So we should receive some new information soon. The images were captured in 2015, so 6 years ago. But for now, we won't get more into El Tintal because it's time to walk another 20 kilometers. I would say that's probably around 6 hours walk in the beautiful jungle of Guatemala, where thousands of years ago, a gigantic Maya civilization was living, growing, and experiencing with this beautiful jungle, when at that time Rome wasn't even founded. So now let's go to El Mirador and let's show you the largest, the biggest pyramid in the world. 200,000 cubic meters more than the pyramids of Giza. This is la DANTA in El Mirador. Family Humanity, la Familia Humanidad, la Famille de l'Humanité. Merci, gracias, thank you. If you like the video, make sure to like it, subscribe, because I'm just getting started on this adventure in the jungle of Guatemala. Mirador, then possibly Nakbe, then Nachtung, La Muralla, Huacna, La Florida, and maybe when we come back we go to El Sots. Love you. Talk soon.